bet you have that one pair of pants sitting in your wardrobe that just doesn't fit quite right. Maybe the waist is too big or you can't fit your calves in it. Anyhow, let me show you how easy it is to alter them, add side pockets and flare them out to give your bottom some character. So let's get started. Since it's too big for me at the waist, I measured how much fabric to cut away, which is 4 cm on each side. I'm marking 1 cm on each side to trim away, with the other 1 cm to be used as my seam allowance. In case you're wondering, I'm using Pilot Friction Heat Erasable Pen for my markings. It's super easy to remove the ink with a little bit of heat from an iron and poof, it's gone like magic. A little backstory about these pants, I got them from Nana Judy back in 2018 but bought the wrong size. I've been holding off on altering them for a long time, but after 6 years, I'm finally doing it. I'm also pretty disappointed in the quality considering they cost nearly $150 and had so many threads break on the first wash. Also, it has no side pockets, which is absurd to be charging that price. But as Dana said,
I'll do it myself.
now I'm repeating the steps on the left side of the pants, marking a centimeters and cutting it away. Once you're done, overlock or zigzag stitch the raw edges of the pants you just cut. Next, let's make the pocket patterns. Grab a piece of paper, draw a straight line, place your hand like this as if you are reaching for something, and trace a shape that looks a bit like an ear. Then add a 1 cm seam allowance all around. Cut a total of 4 pieces of your pocket pattern and overlock or zigzag stitch all the edges to prevent it from fraying. Starting just below the waistband, I'm pinning the straight edge of my pocket pattern right sides to the right sides of my front pants piece. Repeat the same steps for the back piece and sew with a 1 cm seam allowance. Now I'm top stitching the pocket pattern, which I shouldn't have done but should have understitched it instead. Understitching prevents the pocket from shifting out of place, so please don't make the same mistakes I did. Once that's done, turn the pants inside out and sew the right sides of both pocket patterns curved edge to complete the pocket with a centimeter seam allowance. And it's that simple to make your bottoms functional. Now I'm sewing up my waistbands together with a 1 cm seam allowance. For the length, I place a pair of pants I already own on top to gauge how much fabric to trim off the hem. Then I unraveled the stitches of the side seams and the inseam to add my flares. You can also use scissors to cut the existing stitches away. It will make your life so much more easier. I trimmed a few centimeters of the inseam length to make it more fitted at my thighs, as the original fitting is very baggy. To draft your flares pattern, draw a 1-inch straight line, let's call this line A, measure the length of your slit minus 15 inches, then draw two 15 inches lines down at an angle like this. The bottom horizontal line connecting both lines will determine the flare's width, so the wider the flare, the longer it will be. Cut out your flare patterns, 4 pieces in my case, cause since I'm adding flares to both the side and inseams. Pin them with each seam and sew with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. The pants are already looking great, but I still need to touch up a few things. So when I first got the pants, after the first wash, the threads on the belt loops and hook and eye started coming undone. I decided to unpick all 5 existing belt loops and replace them with black ones using cotton bias tape, because the waistband looks so plain and I wanted to add in some contrast. If you thought the small details don't matter, think again. Just look at the difference the new belt loops make. I am in love. Of course, I'm also fixing the hook here, just hand sewing it down with white thread in hopes it stays put this time. Now back to normal. I still felt something was missing, and obviously it was a button centerpiece, so I hand sewed a faux black button in the middle to complete the pants. Last but not least, I hemmed the bottom of my pants. And finally, I am satisfied with the finished look. I'm so happy with how they turned out. Isn't it amazing how much minor changes can upgrade your pants? What do you think? I hope this tutorial inspired you to revamp your old pants. Tag me if you do, I'd love to see them. See you in my next video. Bye!